Hello. Eurozone leaders meeting in Brussels have agreed on a plan to support struggling banks without increasing the debt burden on European governments. It means banks can access money directly from the Eurozone's bailout fund. Now, Italy and Spain had blocked the $150 billion deal until they got agreements to ease the cost of their debt. Well, that deal came after 13 hours of talks over in Brussels. Let's bring in Nick Spicer. He's joining us now live from there. Nick, as we're saying, a deal finally reached after many, many hours.
After many, many hours and in typical European fashion, a handful of countries took hostage one piece of legislation to get their way on another. Now, without getting into the details, the takeaway here is that this is a big setback for Angela Merkel, who for 2.5 years has been chanting this mantra, no pain, no gain. She's been trying to use the pressure of the financial markets to bring about reforms in the ailing economies of the Eurozone, the countries that need to get their financial houses in order. She backed down in these talks. The president of the European Council, Herman van Rompuy, had this to say.
We agreed on something new, which is a breakthrough, that the banks can be recapitalized directly in certain circumstances, and the biggest of the most important condition is that we have to put in place a single supervisory mechanism. And the second decision is that we are opening the possibilities to countries who are well behaving, that we are opening the possibilities to make use of financial stability instruments, EFSF, ESM, in order to reassure markets.
Nick, there is the view that this deal that's been reached in Brussels really focuses on the banking side of things, and in fact, it doesn't solve the problem that European governments still have enormous debts.
Well, there are really two parts of that statement. One was about the banking deal, which really deals with Spain, and the other one was about, if you puncture all of the alphabet soup of European institutions, ESM, EFSF, Italy will be able to get money to buy up its own bonds, which means that the yield on those bonds, the interest rate, will go down, which will bring down the cost of financing government in Italy, which is really the country that is creating the biggest threat to the Eurozone and to the euro. So there is some movement forward, more than meets the naked eye, but it will really depend on how the markets react, I think, to this decision. And quite apart from that, there are discussions ongoing here about creating a real economic union, a fiscal union, and a banking union. That was decided as well, to have a supervisory body look at all of the banks so that people's deposits are guaranteed, for instance, and that there is no systemic risk as there was in the banking system in the United States in 2007. I know there's a lot going on here, but there has been some forward movement, perhaps not as much as some people would like, but it's a little more than banks. There's some political aspects that are important, and there are some long-term financing aspects that are important, particularly as regards Italy.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Nick Spicer reporting from Brussels. Thank you, Nick.